Greetings and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you haven't been here before, my name's Dave and we're doing two-stroke videos at the moment. This is following on from a new two-stroke engine I bought with the aim of showing you how to measure a couple of things on the engine and plug them into the software for the purpose of making an expansion chamber. What I'm going to show you today is basically one method for measuring the exhaust port timing on the engine. There's two methods. This method is if the engine is actually already assembled. As for the engine that I bought, I'm in the process of pulling it apart a bit. There is some things that I want to show you with this engine. There's some quite serious issues, but I'll cover that in another video. And for now, we'll just stick to measuring the exhaust port timing, and I'll show you how to do that. So the first thing we need to do with our engine is I've taken off the covers here, the pull start cover, and I've taken off the clutch bell cover. We've got an exhaust on it and an exhaust header. Take the header off and the flange off so you can get it as close into the port, because we've got to look inside there. And take a bolt out of one side, whichever side you prefer, but I've taken this side out. And what we'll do is we'll actually bolt a degree wheel to this side of the engine, and then we'll put a little pointer on there. So for this we need to avail ourselves of a degree wheel. If you Google printable degree wheels, this is a metal degree wheel. A paper one will do for this job, and you need to get yourself a little bit of wire and make a little point on the end, because we're going to clamp this onto the engine and we're going to actually use that as a pointer. But you can go and get yourself a printable one from Google, print it out on paper. It's got, just has to have 360 degrees marked out, okay? You can put it in some laminate and snip it out so that it's a little bit firmer. Put it on cardboard, whichever you like. We take our degree wheel. I've got a bolt that's a little bit longer and put it on this washer, so we can just screw it onto the crank and just get that around about the centre mark. Not terribly critical. And the other thing we need is our little pointer. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clamp this to the casing. Under normal circumstances, when you're using a degree wheel, there's a procedure. What this procedure is for getting absolute top dead centre. But for this purpose, we don't need to do that, because what we're doing is we are actually measuring the degrees in duration that the exhaust port is opening for. And that's all we need to measure. So first of all, we get the piston, so that the piston crown, the very top of the piston, is in the same position as the top of the exhaust port at the cylinder, not out here, inside the cylinder. That will be our 0 point. So what we do is just hold the engine there, just turn around our degree wheel, give it a little snug up there, and tighten that up. Just recheck it, fine tune it a bit, and you can just bend your little pointer there. So once your pointer is on 0 and the piston is just at the top of the exhaust port, the top of the piston is level with the top of the exhaust port, we turn the engine over during the open period, not the closed period. So the piston's going down, and we look inside, or we look inside our port, either way, and then we bring it back up until the piston comes up, and again from bottom dead centre moving upwards meets the top of the port again. So take that as your opening period, take it all the way down, and then past bottom dead centre, and then up again until the port just closes. So now we know our open period is from 0 here all the way around to here. Now if your degree wheel has 360 degrees marked, fine, just count off the number of degrees. This one's separated into 90 degree sectors, so I can just go 90 degrees, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 154. So now I know that the exhaust port open period is 154 degrees. And that is the figure that I use to plug into the software. For all intents and purposes, in the software, for calculating tuned length, All we need to know is how long is the exhaust port open for. So that's the simplest way to do it. And again, this can be done with the engine assembled, and all you've got to do is take one bolt out of the crank side here, take the plug out so that you can have a look inside. Just makes it easier to turn it over, and take your exhaust port off so you can have a look inside the port. So that's as simple as it is to get our exhaust port open period or exhaust port timing to use in the software. In the case of this one, 154 degrees is the exhaust port timing, which is amazingly low. I actually went and measured the transfer timing too, and it's only 104 degrees. But I will talk about that later with a number of other issues with this engine. That's not what you would usually find in exhaust port timing. Exhaust port timing would usually be in the range of anything from, say, 175 degrees to up to 200 degrees or thereabouts, depending on the engine you've got. So the next video I'm going to pull apart the engine more, and the next video I'm actually going to show you another method for measuring the exhaust port timing, which you can do when the actual engine is disassembled. And that will do it for today. I will get the next video done ASAP. Merry Christmas. We'll see you in the next video. And please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you have already subscribed, please press the bell notification button to be sure that YouTube notifies you of the next videos. Okay, bye for now.